So as I said, I wrote a little database to save people in it with their programming language they know. The collection in which these people are saved is schema validated. So I can now start add someone into the collection. So I add some people might know here. Then I can select the programming languages he knows, and then I can submit, and I get an error message because in the background the data is schema validated, and yeah, therefore the insert doesn't work. So I can put some I just put some data. And insert now a success, and now I can search. Here I have a small search box. Here I can add programming languages, for example Perl, and then Gisela is popping up, or I can search for XQuery, and then all the guys from 28msec's pop up, of course. And then I can also add someone else, something else, and then I see the guys who can program XQuery and C++. So this is just my little demo application, and now all the people working, implementing Sausalito app have the same problem. They need to control their data. And in the beginning, when we didn't have a tooling for this, they started to hack their own helper function, and often it looked somehow like this. So people started to hack a function to get all the data from a collection, and then they did something more. And at some point, we needed to do something against this, so we decided to write a tool we call Collection Browser, because it's able to browse through the collection. And this tool looks like this. So this is the start page of the Collection Browser, and it just shows the list of all collections of the project. And this project only contains one collection for the people, therefore only this entry. I can click on it, and now I see the content of this collection. So I already added 3 people, and then I added Gisela. And here you see this is just the XML, so the sequence of XML nodes in this collection. Yeah, and here in this example I don't have a lot of data, therefore everything is on one page, but when I have more data, we use paging that to avoid some size problems. Then because XML is not nice to read, especially for people who are not into XML, we also wrote this thing, so the table view. And in the table view is basically shows tables of tables, so nested tables. So this is now the top XML element is shown here with the name, then timestamp. I also put the UUID and name, last name, birthday. And then when I want to access some sub XML tree, then I can click here on a sub table, and I see all the languages I know. Yeah. Then it also has some fancy stuff. I always see the path expression, which is used to print this table to compute this table here. And I also can, when I go to the XML view, I can here click around, and then it's really a path expression that is executed in the background, and then you see the result of this here. Now the view is not so special yet, but the really cool thing is now I can, with the mouse, I can edit here. So for example, when I learn a new programming language and I'm too lazy to extend this demo GUI here, I can just go into the collection browser, click with the mouse here, insert after element node, and it has auto-completion, so it figures out the name the element could most probably will have, the new one here. I can then select this thing here, and I can put text node and something. Then till this point, no update is sent to the server, so all updates are basically cached in the browser. And now I can click here on commit, and the update is now on the server, in the database. So when I go back to my demo GUI, I can now search for Erlang, and my name pops up. And an additional cool thing is the updates which are done from the collection browser are also schema validated if the collection in the background has a schema type. So for example, when I add a new element node, I call it, yeah, I can call it undefined. Wait, I need to delete it. I call it plang, but without the content, and I click on commit. Actually, the same error message as before is popped up, and I didn't have to do anything for it. It just works. And of course, I can now fix my problem and then commit afterwards, or I can roll back, and then I have the state as before. And the same works in the table view. So here I can also add a new element. Here I can put the name, a timestamp, and so on. And I can also commit, or I can roll back, so I can really edit my data. Yeah, and there is also the auto commit option that after every enter it sends the data to the server, but it's switched off per default because often, yeah, when you have schema validation, you need to do several changes till your data is valid. Yeah, and then what else? You can also, if you put an index on some value in the way William explained before, you can search, you can figure out what kind of values are in the index. So for example, I put index on the last name field of the last name element of this person nodes, and then I can just put the key in this field, and then it searches for Graf in the last name element. Okay, then so this is now really good for humans. They can click around, change everything in the way they want. But for machines, it's not so convenient. Therefore, we decided to put this collection browser UI on top of a REST API. So the server, the Sausalito server, which is written entirely, so the server part of the collection browser, of course, is written entirely in XQuery, provides the data via a REST API, and it's also possible to send updates via this REST API to the server. So I can just give you a quick example. So via this URI here, it's possible to access all collections, and you can get it in different formats. So this is now the default format, which is XML, which is just a list of a collection, but you can also ask for we invented the XDM format, so this returns more information, and then you get more information for the elements. This is really useful if you want to do updates, as the collection browser does, because you need more information than just the XML. And with this long URI, you can access the content of a collection. And then you get it also as XML or as XDM with more information. And via this REST API, as I already said, you can do updates, and you can just send the delta from between the state on the client side and the server side state to the server, and then it applies the update, and yeah, then the update is done, or you get an error message if you if the validation failed.
Can you talk a little bit about the form, the delta?
It's for those who understand XQuery, it's a serialized version of a pull. So actually, a guy called Federico, he worked at our company for 3 months. He did an internship. He invented operations for pulls, so for example aggregation, stuff like this. And he invented a schema for a pull, serialization format for pulls. And that's just XML, and you can send this XML element to the server, then it executes, or it applies the delta.
So in principle, if I have an Xforms application, I can create the delta manually.
Exactly.
I don't have to be running XQuery in the browser and somehow capture
I mean, in this collection browser, unfortunately, it's written in JavaScript, not in XQuery. But what it does, the JavaScript just creates the XML element and sends it to the server. So basically, on top of this REST API, you can write any kind of application that interacts, it does updates, adds, and so on. Yeah, that's basically it. Currently, it's not in our product yet. It will be part of the next release. In the next release, you will be able to automatically import the collection browser in your project. If you want to try it out right now, you either send an email to us and we help you getting it into your project, or if you have a good memory, you can also remember this launchpad path and just branch from it and read the README file in it and do what's written in the README.